Good morning. We have a dense fog advisory to start off 2019. Taking a live look here at the roads where visibility clearly low in certain spots. Jennifer's watching the problem spots, and Britta will let you know when it will lift.
Plus, a cautionary tale about celebratory gunfire, reports of injuries and arrests overnight, despite warnings yesterday from city and county officials.
And replacing Applewhite overnight, we've learned about a reported deal that the Cougs' potential new head coach is coming to town.
Ooh, how about that?
All right. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sofia Ojeda.
I'm Owen and Sofia. Merry New Year! Ray?
That was really loud in my ear.
You weren't ready for that one.
It's an annual tradition.
Would you like for me to whisper the traffic?
Thank you, Chad.
Well, I don't know what happened. I mean,
it's just a hot mess.
Fog and then drunk driving, I'm sure, was a factor in several of the overnight crashes. So we're tracking it for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a morning that's best just to stay off the road, not only because of that threat, but because the fog is going to be a huge threat. So take it slow if you are heading out. Make sure that you are very defensive on the roads and watching out where you're going. This is definitely a morning that it's just going to be a very slow go, and it depends on where you are. Yeah, you know, if you put your emergency flashers on, it at least makes you more visible to other vehicles on the road. There's a live look downtown. Notice that downtown, it looks great. It's not a guarantee that will stay like that the entire morning, but right now the thick spots are right outside downtown. In fact, Tomball is down below a 1/10 of a mile. You're at a half mile at Bush Airport. That's actually some improvements over the last 15 minutes, but those improvements don't last for very long. In fact, Conroe, you're down to a mile after being at 2 miles, and Angleton, you're down below a mile. So be prepared to have part of your drive be absolutely fine and then hit a very thick wall of fog. After 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to see some improvements. In fact, this afternoon, beautiful. So if you sleep in this morning, you can just enjoy the rest of your first day of 2019. Temperatures will be in the low 60s, and we're looking at partly cloudy skies. There's a look at that dense fog advisory. It is in effect until 8 o'clock this morning. We have our own Brittany Jeffers out sort of scanning the roads. And Brittany, it sounds like it's pretty hard to even scan it. You're on the Hardy Tollway, but I'm hearing that it's kind of hard for you to even identify where you are.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about the change in locations. We were in downtown Houston, and it was just hazy there, but a different scene out here on the Hardy Toll Road this morning. As we're making our way northbound, we are seeing people pulled over on the side of the road. The exit signs in some places difficult to see. We're seeing a lot of brake lights out here, people slowing down, going way below the speed limit. At one point, we were going about 15 miles an hour. So, as you mentioned, we're seeing this in all different kinds of locations, in Tomball and Sugarland, Spring, Katy. On my commute into work this morning from the north side, I saw the same thing. It was very tricky, especially on the overpasses. People with their hazards on, everyone slowing down well below the speed limit. And, you know, just to reiterate what Jennifer said, you got to use caution if you're out here. Also, one of our Channel 2 photographers, just to give you another perspective, he's been out on the roadways this morning. He's on a feeder road off of 290 this morning, where he has been in a thick blanket of fog. He was going about 6 miles an hour this morning, so definitely slow moving for people out there. Again, as I mentioned, we are making our way northbound on the Hardy Toll Road out here. We're going to stay out here, going to be checking in conditions, checking back in with you guys throughout the rest of the morning, but let's go ahead and get back to Jennifer with traffic.
All right, thank you, Brittany. And I'm going to bounce around town, show you some of the really heavy spots, and then some are clearer. But it's one of those mornings where it's tough on the North Beltway, westbound direction at the North Sam Plaza, right near Veterans. We have a heavy truck crash. It's 3 vehicles total involved, and you can hardly see the pavement, the sign that's here. We were able to see that. You can barely sketch it out. We have multiple lanes blocked on the westbound side, so just exit a little bit early and utilize that service road. But cell phones down. You do not want to take a risk. Katy Freeway at Mason, getting reports of a problem here at Katy at Mason. I didn't see anything on the main lane, so looking good in that area as far as the highway. 610 East Loop at the Port of Houston. Here's what your visibility looks like. Not too intense at that location, at least. And over to the West Loop at Memorial, looks pretty decent there. Over to you, Owen.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. It's 5:34 right now. New this morning, celebratory gunfire, of course, is dangerous. It's against the law, but catching people is tough. Catching people that do it is tough. That's what Houston police did overnight. Officers heard some shots around 10:30 over on Cashmere at Collingsworth, northeast side of town. They went to investigate, found 3 guys who'd been shooting a mix of rifles and pistols. They confiscated 6 weapons. One, by the way, was reported stolen in a burglary in the last 6 months. Cops are consulting with the DA's office to figure out if charges should be filed.
It is a tragic case that made national headlines. A 7-year-old girl shot and killed in East Harris County. This morning, investigators are still searching for Jasmine Barnes' killer. Take a close look. They hope that someone will recognize this red 4-door pickup truck believed to be driven by the suspect. He is described as a bearded white man, possibly in his 40s, wearing a red hoodie. Jasmine's mother was also shot. She's still in the hospital. LaPortia Washington says that she and her daughters were going to get coffee when someone started shooting at them.
And you, if you're watching this, you should have a heart to step forward and say you did this to this baby because she did not deserve what you did to her, and you were wrong.
My heart is with that mom right now. If you have any information that could lead to an arrest in this case, contact the Harris County Sheriff's Office to get another look at that photo of that red pickup truck and more information. You can search for this story on our website, clicktohouston.com.
Got a crime alert from Fort Bend County today. Investigators are on the lookout for a would-be thief dressed as a meter reader. The man was apparently in the Del Webb community in the Richmond area. Investigators say he broke a window at a home on the 300 block of Cattle Ranch Drive. They think the dogs in the home scared him off. Fort Bend County Sheriff Nels says the meter reader disguise allowed the guy to slip into the side yard, basically undetected.
The ushering in of a new year also ushered in a new Harris County judge. 27-year-old Democrat Lena Hidalgo defeated longtime county judge Ed Emmett during a Democratic sweep back in November. Last night at midnight, she was officially sworn into office. Hidalgo tells us her goal is to shape the future of Harris County. She says her transition is a community effort.
We will be asking people from all across Harris County what issues they care about, what ideas they have, what would lead them to engage more with government.
Hidalgo says one of the first issues that she plans to tackle is the county's disaster response. And more community leaders will be sworn into office today. Former County Sheriff Adrian Garcia will take the oath of office to become Harris County Precinct 2 Commissioner this morning at 11:30. And in Galveston, County Judge Mark Henry will be sworn in at 10 a.m. Then 17 other elected officials will follow. There will be also swearing-in ceremonies in Montgomery and Brazoria counties as well.
University of Houston's moving fast to replace head football coach Major Applewhite 2 days after he was fired. Apparently, a deal is in place with a new coach. The deal is with West Virginia head coach Dana Holgorsen. Now, the deal hasn't been signed, but they're expected to finalize it today. Channel 2 Sports has learned the deal's a 5-year, $20 million contract. Coach Applewhite, of course, was fired by UH after the loss to Army in the bowl game.
The Rockets added a win under their belt, and the Beard, of course, was leading the way. James Harden had a triple-double last night against the Grizzlies. It was his 4th straight 40-point game and the Rockets' 5th straight win. Harden also set an NBA record, just saying, no big deal. It was his 8th game straight with at least 35 points and 5 assists. Rockets will take on the Warriors Thursday night.
Messed around and got a triple-double. Love that. 5:38. Hey. Britta's here, first day of the year. Good morning.
My goodness, and what a start. We're waking up to very dense fog. It's super intense. Our visibility dropping below 1/10 of a mile in many spots outside of downtown. So once you get into downtown, it does look okay at this point, but doesn't mean it's going to last. We have a dense fog advisory in effect through 8 a.m. On our Futurecast model, we're waking up in the low 40s. It's chilly. Grab your jacket. We'll see some improvements with fog after 8 o'clock in the morning, and then this afternoon, we'll see breaks of sunshine with temperatures in the low 60s. Jen, heavy rain moves in tonight. I have an important update on how much rain we're anticipating for Wednesday and Thursday coming up next.
All right, Britta, thank you. According to Flight Aware, all inbound flights at Bush Intercontinental are being held at their origin until 6 a.m. Central Time due to low visibility. So I'm going to continue to update you there. On the North Beltway, westbound direction, that heavy truck incident, 3 vehicles involved, is still working. Hard to see things out there, folks, so please don't take a risk. Cell phones down, low beams on, and watch for the curbs and the markings if you get to a spot where you just simply run out of visibility. Not too intense here. North Freeway at Tidwell, though. Guys?
Jen, it turns out you are more than just what you eat. You are more than that. You are what you drink, too.
Oh, good. Great.
You may also be a product of when you eat.
Okay, let's go back to the eating. Ahead, how to start 2019 with a freshly reset and healthier food clock. You didn't know you had a food clock, did you?
It's real.
Yeah, well, we're coming back with that 20 minutes to 6.